Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and today we're going to be ranking all 7 February 2022 releases that I watched. Not as many as last month because we had a bit of a busier month with me checking out the Batman movies in anticipation for the Batman, checking out a few shows, getting into Superman and Lois, and a few other things, so not as much as last month, but I think we did have maybe like a medium month. Last month had a lot of worse movies than in this month, but also had Harry Potter 2020 Return to Hogwarts. No, 2022 Return to Hogwarts 20th anniversary. So, that was better than most of the movies for this month, and also was seeing some shows this month and stuff. I'm considering doing a ranking for that, so if you want that, just leave it down below. And then I think we had a pretty fine month. I didn't see anything in theaters, so I had to just scour through the streaming services and stuff and find movies that I could rank on this. So here's my ranking. I didn't see Moonfall, Jackass Forever, Scream, or Uncharted, and also Death on the Nile. I didn't see any of those, so those I'll watch them whenever they come out on DVD or something, and maybe do rankings or talk about them later. But for now, we got our top 7 movies that we saw 2022, February 2022. So thank you so much for being here. This is Max Reviews. I'm Brayden. And unfortunately, coming in 7th place here is going to be Tall Girl 2. I did a review for it. I'll leave the link in the description, but Tall Girl and Tall Girl 2, I thought Tall Girl was just It was, fine, man, I don't really care. And then Tall Girl 2 was even worse, with having characters. It's very generic, and I don't think there's really a reason for it to exist, as it just basically repeats the first movie, except for adds a few things in there. They have a bunch of plot lines about her hearing voices inside her head that are telling her she can't do stuff and that she's too tall. And it's just really annoying, and I did not like this. It isn't the worst movie of the year. We had a lot of bad movies last month, like 300, Brazen, and then we also had The King's Daughter, Wild Buck, a bunch of bad movies. This isn't as bad as those. But I found most of the stuff was dumbed down in this movie. It's a lot more kiddish than in the first movie. This was rated PG. The first was rated PG-13. So I don't know what they were even trying to do with giving this movie a sequel. I didn't hear anybody that even cared about the first movie. And it had me watch the first and second so that I could just watch this. So I didn't like it. You can't root for anybody in the movie. That's another part to it. There's just nobody to root for. In the movie, Tall Girl, you can't vote for her. The boy, which I really liked in the first movie, he was like the best character. Can't root for him. There's nobody to root for because everybody's being deceptive and misleading and mixed up. And Tall Girl's just the worst in her own movie. And so Jodie, that's her name, just I don't know why they made this movie. And worst movie of the month easily, but still not as bad as last month. So that's a bit of an improvement. Coming in 6th place here, we have Catwoman Hunted. This is an anime, so I'm not a huge anime fan, and I'm not a huge Catwoman fan. I just checked this out. Like, the beginning of the month, I was like, oh, that's cool, check that out. And it's fine. They have a bunch of plot lines and stuff that doesn't really go anywhere, where there's Batgirl, and it seems like there's going to be a bit of tension or something going on, a character arc with her. Nothing happens. Catwoman just is basically doing the same thing for the entire movie. I think the anime, it's fine. It doesn't even do anything special with the formula with everything, and so it just didn't really work. I think it's got some fine action, but the plot, the arcs, everything, it doesn't really matter for a movie. It's just a fun movie sort of a thing. And I don't really know if it really worked for me. The anime, I'm not a big anime fan. I'm sorry, people. I've only seen 2 things anime. This and Visions, and I liked Visions quite a bit better. So this was fine. Like, it was okay. I don't really care. I checked it out. It's pretty short, so that's pretty nice. But other than this is just, I don't care about this movie. And now we have 5th place, which is going to be Marry Me, a movie that I thought could be pretty charming. Owen Wilson, Jennifer Lopez, same movie. But it's pretty generic. We've seen it quite a few times. You know what's gonna happen just from watching the trailers. But Owen Wilson, he's good in the movie, and Jennifer Lopez is fine. I think it's just a cute little movie. Nothing huge about it. It's fine. I think this is sort of like the romance month where I saw quite a few more romance movies. I saw like 3 or 4 rather than last month, so that's something different. There was another movie that I wanted to check out, Sky is Everywhere, something that was new movie that came out this month that I didn't get to see yet, but maybe sometime when I catch up with the new releases that are in theaters. But yeah, Marry Me, it's fine, generic. I wouldn't really recommend it. It's a cute movie. I did a review for that one too. I'll leave the link in the description for that if you want to check out my bigger thoughts. It's just fine. And now, 4th place, we got Kimi. I'd call this sort of a weirder movie, but I sort of liked it. Kimi is just basically Alexa in this world, and you have this girl who works on Kimi, and she's hearing these, like, something's going on with abuse, and she's trying to figure it all out, and then the movie sort of ends with a bang with having this, this big action sort of thing that sort of came out of nowhere. It's sort of like a quarantine movie, like, what if 2020, it's like 2022 with Alexa, except for it's Kimi, and it just seems like that's what's happening in this world. So I thought it was fine. Wasn't too big on it. It was just another one of those fine movies. I like the action sequence at the end. That was probably the only reason that it's a bit higher than Marry Me and Catwoman Hunted. Nothing super special. I had a sort of fun time with it when she was getting out the nail gun and shooting guys in the face with a nail gun. But other than that, you have this sort of weird, slow romance going on that just wasn't that great. And so I thought it was fine, nothing special. And before we get into our top 3, thank you for watching this far. I'm trying to do one of these every month. I'm going to be doing it until December, where I rank all the movies that I saw this month. Pretty medium month. Leave your comments down below what you saw and any recommendations or anything. I didn't see anything in theaters, but I'll catch up on it later, maybe like quarter of the way through the year or halfway through something. I'll do a little ranking, so good. Like, subscribe for that, turn on notifications, and wait out for that where you could hear my thoughts on the other movies. And coming in 3rd place here is going to be The Tinder Swindler. This is a movie that I was sort of putting off watching. People had told me that it was good. It's on Netflix, and I started it. I got like a minute or so in like the middle of it. I guess somebody was already watching it before me, and I thought, no. And so I went back to it another night, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch this. And I watched it, and it was very interesting to me. I think this is one of the better movies of the year, like top 5 currently. It's a very interesting documentary. And I think the documentary itself is done very well. I did a thing on documentaries. I didn't talk about this, though. And it shows me Tinder and how there was this guy that was taking millions of dollars from women through Tinder, and that's how he did everything. His name was Simon, and he pretended to be like a millionaire or billionaire, and he wasn't. And so I thought that it was a very interesting documentary because I knew nothing. I don't really know much about Tinder or about this thing or anything like that. And so I checked it out. Thought it was pretty cool, actually. And it's pretty rage-inducing at the end when you see what happened to these women and how scarred they've been, losing all their money and everything. And that the guy that did this is still roaming free. So I thought it was a pretty good, well put together documentary. I think it's an interesting watch, but I still don't know if I'd recommend it up to a year. Like, it's fine. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, which is, I might be liking it a bit too much because I thought it would be bad, but it was actually fine, so I'm happy for that. Okay, and coming in 2nd place here, something that I just watched last night, Cyrano, a very Shakespearean sort of movie. It's also a romance, and it also has quite a few musical numbers in it. It's with the guy from Elf, and he's also in, what else is he in? He's in one Narnia movie. He's the shorter guy, and he's the main character, Cyrano, and I think he does a really good job. Cyrano, it's sort of like a Shakespearean romance with action going on every once in a while. It seems sort of like a play to me, like a play, but it's turned into a movie. So it's a sort of weirder movie, but I enjoyed it. It was good, and it has some pretty good songs in it. It's got some bad songs, so it sort of comes out as like a fine for the songs, I would say. Some of them I really enjoyed, like when the guys are gonna go out and get killed, and writing a letter to the people that they love, what they sing a song, and that's a really nice song. And then you have just the girl character singing a song and you don't like it too much. And it's one of those movies where the guy dies at the end and the poetry's in it. It's a very artistic movie. I liked it more than I thought I would. Once again, I didn't have high expectations. I have higher expectations for like movies that are in theaters that I haven't checked out yet. But I thought it was fine. Pretty good. So, would I recommend it? It depends on your character. I wouldn't really 100% recommend any of the movies this month. We did not have that great of a month from what I saw. But it was a sort of interesting Shakespearean movie. I thought it was good. And so, first place this month, sort of of a surprise, but I Want You Back. I like this quite a bit more than I thought I would. I thought it would just be like Marry Me level fine movie, but I had a lot more fun with it. It was a breakup movie, and it sort of drew me right in. And it has all these complex relationships going on, and not super deep, but it's sort of interesting characters. And I like there's the guy and the girl's plot lines, and I like the guy quite a bit more than the girl stuff that was going on. And there's quite a bunch of hijinks going on with breakup, and so I had a fun time with the ride. And the ending isn't the greatest. That's the only bad thing that I could say about the movie. The ending sorta was a bit overly cheesy, sort of like the first Tall Girl movie. But I still enjoyed this movie pretty good. It's on Amazon Prime. It was a fun movie, but not that great of a month, so it's not extremely high praise. It's not the best movie of the year. No way is it even going to be in my top 20 favorite movies of the year, but I had fun with it, You could blame me. It's nice, fun, sort of breakup movie that has this hijinks going on. It reminded me sort of like a modern version of old 2000 flicks. So, who would have thought? Romance movie comes in first, and last month it was a documentary sort of a thing. So, weird years so far. Thank you so much for watching. I want to hear your comments down below of what you thought about these movies and which ones you did see, which ones you didn't. I did my reviews for I Want You Back, Tall Girl 2, and Marry Me, so I'll leave the links in the description if you want to hear my more in-depth thoughts on them. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. I really want to know what you guys thought for this month, what you guys saw. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Thank you once again for getting me to 60 subs. So nice. Keep going. Leave the notification bell on because whenever I catch up on Scream, Jackass Forever, what else is there, Uncharted and all that, I'll do a ranking. So be on the lookout for that sometime in the next 2 or 3 months. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. Braden out.